I asked a question today on social media. What do you fear losing? So that's a question for you, the viewer of this. What are you afraid of losing? What do you fear losing the most? I thought it was an interesting question. Somebody asked me what my answer was. And when I thought about it rationally, number one was my family. Number two was my mental health, like me being who I am. And the third was my physical health. And that's about it. I mean, if you have that, if you have your loved ones, you have your mental health, you have your physical health, pretty much everything else can be worked out in life. But the reason I ask that is because I think we have a lot of irrational fears that maybe we're not even aware of, that we couldn't verbalize, but our behavior reveals them. Because I think back to the way I was behaving, 12, 13 years ago when I was in my last corporate job. I wasn't behaving as if my biggest fear was losing my family or my health. I was behaving as if my biggest fear was losing my job title, losing my compensation, losing my job and having to start over. That's how I was behaving. And it was completely irrational because the things I valued the most, my family and my health, were the very things I was sacrificing to chase my career. And then when I had a hard look at myself and my life at that point and took a break from that, I realized I had it all flipped upside down and that I should refocus my life on maintaining my relationship with my family, recovering my health, which I did, recovering my mental health, getting rid of all the stress and the anxiety and all the garbage that came with a stressful job. And the rest followed. And I started my own business and things have been okay. Things work out. So it's an interesting question to think about. What are the fears that are driving you and influencing your actions and your behavior? Because loss aversion is a huge motivator. People are afraid to lose things, and so they'll take extraordinary measures to not lose something. And there's loss aversion of like money and status and things like that. It's a huge motivator. Advertisers and marketers know it well. And I'm not saying don't pursue a great career, but don't forget what really matters. Why are you doing that? Because it makes no sense to climb the ladder and lose the very things that you fear losing the most. It's kind of ridiculous. And so you end up like some people, some billionaires I won't mention, who ended up having it all financially and having a wonderful career, supposedly. And they lost probably the most valuable thing in their lives. Maybe they're realizing that now. They lost their partner. They lost their loved ones because of their behavior, which is kind of ironic. So that's my question for today. What are you afraid of losing? And are you structuring your life to ensure that you don't lose those things? Or are you putting them at risk?